Hello everyone, and welcome to what should be an easy challenge. Oh my god, are you alright?
I'm you from the future.
How far into the future?
About 2 weeks. Wait, what are you doing?
Alright, now that the worries in my life are gone, let's get on to the run. The run is pretty simple, no using this lady right here, and no using these shiny rocks scattered throughout the lands between, the rest of the game. I don't think it'll be all that bad though. I mean, Dark Souls 3 is known for its good scaling, right? Oh, spoiler alert, you're not allowed to see this yet. But without further ado, let's get into the video. I started as the deprived class for that sweet Uno level and grabbed the fire gem for later. I beat a crystal lizard into submission for no reason other than the urge to do so. Then did the exact same thing to Ludix. Buff Worm Man. Either way, he's dead. Now, the only difference between this run and any other is that we hit like a newborn baby. I can't use 3/4 of the weaponry in the game due to stat restrictions. And until we get some rings, we have what's known in the Souls community as paper skin. In an attempt to get over my crippling weakness, I run around grabbing things such as embers and commit game break to grab an Estus shard and a new shiny ring. On my item grabbing spree, I pick up a pretty important item for this run. One of the only ways to buff damage without leveling up anything is to use a resin. And there are many kinds, but if a boss is difficult or is giving me some trouble, you can bet I'm going to use one of these resins. Proceeded to get my face caved in by a black belt in Taekwondo. Holy Jesus! Grabbed a raw gem from an unwilling crystal. Grabbed another beer piece. Took Vort down. To be honest, it felt like at this point, it wasn't any different than a regular playthrough. After picking up a couple of important items and getting put back in my place by the world's most persistent archer, I went into the swamp to get some more rings and everyone's favorite green foliage shield. Although not before realizing that I don't know how to swim. I grabbed the grass crest shield, and then go to give Stray Demon a reason to crumble. Then grab the Chloranthy ring to double up on stamina regen. Now, if I'm being honest, I've never really liked this boss. I don't know. It's just something about him, but he doesn't really feel inclusive. And the extra enemies that get put in the arena just get blasted. Oh, see? There you go, he's dead. Now, the main reason we killed him was to unlock access to Havel's ring, allowing us to wear heavier armor so that hopefully we don't get one shot. After lighting 3 fires and narrowly avoiding the world's most unwanted hug, I head right into the Abyss Watchers fight. It went pretty well. Oh my god, alright. But no. On any normal playthrough, you would probably be doing around 3 times the damage per hit, and have a lot more health to work with. And it's only going to get worse from here, so instead of getting good, I did what most of us would, and went to go show this magician that the greatest magic is stick fighting. Magical. After confirming that the ham tasted funny, I gave the giant a high five, and picked up a really useful ring. At full HP, you receive 10% more damage, which considering I won't be tanking that many shots, means this ring is just up my alley. After opening up the shortcut, it was Deacon time. Deacons were... well, they were deacons. Who would have thought that a low damage dealing build is really bad for a DPS race? But as long as I was aggressive, I was mostly fine. With deacons down, we went back to Watchers with a level head. And after gritting my teeth and providing the world's most aggressive back massage, the Watchers went down with no heals remaining. Man, what are we doing? So yeah, as that fight inadvertently showed, this run lives and dies on one thing. you knowing the boss moveset better than you know how to walk. And that's not even a joke either. I mean, healing on later bosses doesn't really matter when I have almost no hope of surviving the first hit. Basically, it's skill issue personified. I mean, my character knows this so well that he just wants to get out. What the But I pulled him right back, because we aren't done yet. Next up is the King of Bones himself, and to be honest, he isn't hard at all. Although, I got to see more moves than I've ever seen him do, he goes down without too much issue. I make the sprint across the bridge with Princess not far behind, then immediately leave all that nonsense behind for prison life. However, this area doesn't really have anything of note, other than the dragon ring for later, and the cell block key so that I can trade it in for a pack of noodles, because I'm not really going to do anything with it myself. So after a nice gargoyle showed me that the walls can be quite soft after you get splatter all over them, I gave Yorm a good morning sunshine. Now, this boss can be interesting. If you use the Storm Ruler, which has no stat requirements to use, you can turn this boss into the saddest fight I've ever seen. And considering our damage without it is already discouragingly low, Storm Ruler it is. And with a couple of charged tornado blasts, Yorm falls the same as the ones before. You know, this run has actually been going super well. I mean, we've been able to steamroll past most roadblocks pretty easily. Holy makes our defense work. Okay, of course. A ring makes our defense worse? Okay, I think I'm gonna take that ring off. This is it, everybody. The roadblocks, they start here. This was the point in the run where bosses started to take longer to finish off, combined with devastating attacks and combos. I knew the wall was coming, but I had hoped that we had a little bit longer until we actually got to it. It was from this point onward that my sanity took a major hit. But we marched onward. And that forward march runs straight into the best looking weapons this side of the coast. That's right. I'm talking about Pontiff. Now, Pontiff has the same problems of major damage and stiff HP. But there was one thing that put him apart from the Dancer of Losing. And that thing is, Pontiff can be parried. Quite easily, in fact. And it makes it even better when you find out that his second phase only requires a roll, and you can parry him all the same. So with one final gut punch, Pontiff goes down, and the run lives on. And then with a little bit of luck, we push on to Aldrich, Eater of Gods. Now Aldrich was tricky. Due to what I would say to be only RNG, we might as well have been hitting him with backhands. So let me lay it out. We go in, hit him down to maybe 75% of his HP, give or take, only for him to start using arrow rain and either clip me to death or make me low enough to where I'm one shot to any other attack he chooses. Or, by some magic, we make it down to 50% HP, where he then uses that magic to blast me to death before I can make it over to him after a teleport. Oh, damn. I cut my hand on this knife. Ha ha! It's a segue to tell us that he's weak to bleed. Absolutely genius. I don't know how he does it. Alright. Now to check on his weaknesses. Oh my goodness! Where did you come from? Shoo! Shoo! Get out of here! But fear not, for we have the solution. Aldrich has one glaring weakness that we are going to exploit. He can't stand the sight of his own blood. So with that in mind, the bandit's knife is perfect. And after a long, hard-fought battle, Aldrich goes down, bloodier than before. And with Aldrich down and out, Dancer was all that stood between us and that shit show that is the castle. The Dancer. Oh, the Dancer, Dancer, Dancer. There's just something about her moveset that makes me react just awfully. Snake-like almost. But after trial and error, focus on the error, we finally find a groove that flows oh just right. And once we found it, it wasn't long before she fell. Riding the wave, we went straight to the Knight's Ring, giving us an extra 5 strength when worn, and then challenged Ripoff Ornstein in some combat. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I felt pretty helpless here at first. The problem here was that you have to do this hitless. And that doesn't sound all that bad until the giant laser blasting butterflies start giving you an unplanned lobotomy. But when all is said and done, this boss fell to one simple thing. Profaned Greatsword. With unparalleled stats and a roll attack that is super quick, this boss goes down with a bit of luck and a super amount of focus. Woo! With Dragon Slayer down, we've officially unlocked a large part of the game, in the form of the Hunter Ring, giving us 5 extra decks when in use, along with the Scholar Ring for emergencies. Now the Hunter Ring gives us access to something quite potent to counter our lack of stats. And if any of you recognize this enemy, then you might know exactly what that is. This sword right here has natural frostbite, and when it's combined with the Hunter Ring, allows us to wield infinite frostbite with a specific technique. Let me explain. Using Twin Princes as an example, so he has a pretty low frostbite resistance, meaning that it only takes a few hits to proc frostbite, which does a good bit of damage, maybe a few hundred on average, but normally after a frostbite proc, the boss stays in that state for a while, meaning that I can't frostbite him again, if it wasn't for the torch, which is literally the light in the dark during this run. So we hit him with the torch after giving him frostbite, the proc will disappear, meaning we can immediately proc it again, and if used correctly, will allow me to drain large amounts of HP, given the boss can be frostbit. But as the princes are quite vulnerable to cold, they go down without too much effort. You know, we're at the end of the base game, and this really hasn't been all that bad. But it's just weird. I can't shake this feeling like it's gonna get worse. I guess I'll just ignore it. But with that, it's time to take on the big old boss of the base game of Dark Souls 3, the Cinder of Soul. Why does that sound weird? Anyways, you might notice a change of weaponry, and there's a reason for that. It happens that magic just works really well here. With Great Soul Arrow having low FP consumption and taking exactly 15 intelligence, it's perfect to mass use on Cinder. Now, that doesn't mean it was an easy fight by any means, but I started to see openings that were exploitable, and they were popping up more and more. And bit by bit, the fight played out longer and longer each time I did it. I took less damage each time, until finally. Oh my god, do not. Let's go, baby! Woo! Nice! And with the Cinder down, we had a small cleanup before the DLCs. Okay. What? And now it's time for us to play the game that everybody loves. Running through here as fast as possible without dying. Oh, so do not go down in one shot. Oh my... I don't know if you guys can tell, but I hate this area. A lot. Alright, on to the DLC. And first up is baiting this guy to his death. Let me just scour the area, see if there's any... First set of... He walked up on his own! Or he can just jump off the ledge? I'll take it, I guess? Psych! Nameless King is up next. Now, the setup here is pretty simple. Considering the fact that he sucks at range, if we can keep our distance and don't throw, we should be able to... Ah, damn. Okay, well, at least we made it to Nameless King this time, so maybe we should be... Okay, we're making some decent progress here. I mean, this is looking pretty... Oh, come on. Please, we're right there. Please, please. No! Honey, will you tell the kids I'm not gonna make it for dinner tonight? Yeah. Yeah, it's becoming a problem. Imagine. Woo! Oh my god. Oh my goodness. I don't want to talk about it. I don't know why I threw so many times. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just glad it's over with. That's all I have for that. Moving right along. Next up was the Demon Princes. Now, the initial thought was to use magic, but it just so happens that we didn't actually have enough to kill him. We were about 4,000 damage away, and that was if we brought over only FP flasks, meaning we would have to go either no hit or one hit for the entire fight. So that was a no-go. But you do know what tends to work? Bleeding a demon. Because of course he's immune to frostbite. But he can bleed. I just can't. But the bandit knife can. Okay. Lap. 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 No! Banana. Apple. God! Orange. You see, the thing about these attempts is that they started to take upwards of 10 minutes every time. And it started to get to me a little bit. Oh, man. Luckily, I got this one next try. Yes! Oh my god! Now at this point, I was on autopilot. After so many boss attempts, I felt like a ghost. I mean, no other way to describe it. We did, however, have a plan for the next boss. Check this out. So this bird reject looking thing right here drops the storyteller's staff. It's a terrible staff, mostly. However, its special ability, well, you'll see. So it turns out that this boss has a glaring weakness. Dance music. Me too, buddy. Me too. Alright. After a good chill session like that, I decided it was time to put Sister Freed back into the ground.
Return.
Where was she at? Beep.
Return.
Beep. Yeah. Beep. Oh. So it's gonna be one of those fights. Okay. So let me run the strategy we devised between you guys. So, first phase was simple. Melee and try to take the minimum number of hits possible. Second phase was even simpler. Poison the big guy, and then run around for 3 minutes. Third phase, however, gave us the most trouble. Until we attempted the backstab maneuver. Now, I could only get it to work on certain moves due to a chronic skill issue condition. But with that, Freed goes down. Oh. Okay, well, it was kind of a backstab. And after proceeding to shave a bit too much off the top, we went to go give Madar a welcoming gift. Now, I'm gonna be honest. If you had asked me right after I finished this challenge, what gave me the most trouble, I would have said Madar. He has quick moves and a deceptive range, and just downright dastardly damage. I mean, he hits like an absolute truck. And I really want to say that we found some grand strategy that put him in the dirt and make it sound super epic, but it really came down to learning the moves and what I can do in between them. Oh boy, did I learn. We died so many times that I spent more time in this DLC running to Madar than I did in the rest of the DLC combined. Mistime a dodge, dead. Misread an attack, dead. Stand in the wrong spot for just a second too long, dead. But after a couple of hours, the health bars seemed to whittle down further and further, and the fight seemed to last not as long. Oh. Okay. Oh my god! You're beep playing with me right now. You're beeping. Quit it with this nonsense. Die. Oh my god. So, I accidentally lost the footage of me killing Gravetender. But just know it involved a lot of deaths and more cursing than I think I've ever done on stream. I don't know why it made me so angry, but I couldn't find it in my files. I don't know. I mean, it's still on stream, but, you know. So, sorry about that one, but here's Gale to make up for it, I guess. Now, for Gale, I really want to say that he was a fitting end to the run. Mostly because for some reason, my brain just loved to go, "Hey, I dare you to throw this fight just before you kill him." And in my head, I would be like, great idea. But we had a plan going into this. He can be poisoned, and he can also be frostbitten. Meaning that if we stacked the two, we would be able to deal large parts of his HP, and then we could try to finish him off with magic. Sounds like a plan, right? Oh my god. Hey. Oh, no. Oh my god! Left dodge. One more. Wait, no, two more. One more. Just gotta FP. FP and we're done. Woo! Oh, we're not done. Oh. Oh my god, imagine throwing right there. Woo! And just like that, we beat Dark Souls 3 at level 1 without upgrading a single weapon. If you enjoyed the run, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you have any run suggestions, smack them in the comments below. And a special thank you to everyone who donated, and all of the lovely members as well. And to everyone watching, I hope you have a good day.